I was able to increase my credit score from 707 to 746 in less than 6 months. I was also able to increase my credit limit from $2,500 to $15,000 in 6 months as well. You can definitely do it too. Hey guys, it's your girl Wiz Queen back again with another video. If this is your first time on my channel, thank you so much for joining. On this channel, I share information on personal finances. I provide you with tips that will help you grow your income, improve your savings, and essentially become financially free. I also share information on lifestyle and fashion. So as you can see from the title in today's video, I'll be sharing with you tips and ways that I was able to significantly grow my credit score in less than 6 months. I was able to improve my credit score from the low 700s to mid 700s now, and this I was able to achieve in less than 6 months. As at April of this year, I was at 707, and right now I'm currently at 746, which is like less than or about 6 months ago. And I was even able to grow my credit score more than I was as at the beginning of the year. So I just thought, let me share the tips I was able to use to grow my credit score. So as you can see, as at January of this year, I was at 734, and as at March, my credit score dropped to 707. And what happened in March was that I applied for a new credit card for my corporation, and of course when you apply for a new credit card, there will be credit check done on you. But because my corporation did not have a credit of its own, they had to do the credit check on me, and this dropped my credit score by over 30 points, as you can see. And it's crazy because I did not know it was going to drop that much, but when I noticed, I was like, okay, so I have to work on getting my score back up as soon as possible. And I did a couple of things which I'm about to share with you, and hopefully you can apply them to your credit as well and improve your credit score or your credit report as you deem fit. So like I mentioned, I applied for a credit card for my corporation. So what I did when that credit check was done on me, because I bank with the same financial institution for my business banking and my personal banking, what I now did was I asked the assistant that was helping me at that time to use the same credit check to see if I could increase my credit limit at that point. And she said, yeah, sure, I can definitely take a look at that for you. At that time, I currently had 2,500 as my credit limit. And when I requested, she asked me for how much I wanted and a couple of information about my income level, my spending, my net worth, and all of that. And when she put everything together, she asked me for how much I wanted for the credit limit to be increased to. I initially mentioned 5,000. Then she told me, oh yeah, we can give you 5,000. I was like, okay, if I could get 5,000, I could possibly get even more. Then I pushed my luck further and said, okay, maybe 10K. And she said, yeah, sure, we qualify you for $10,000. I was like, what? Oh my god, how did I go from having $1,000 credit card to $10,000 credit card in less than 1.5 years? In fact, it was less than a year at that time. So I said, okay, thank you very much, I'll take that. And I got $10,000 as my credit limit, and this significantly helped me increase the space I would have for my credit utilization. So which brings me to the second point that I have. So the second thing I did to significantly improve my credit score was to increase my credit limit. So after I got my credit limit increased to $10,000, this made my credit utilization limit to also increase. By credit utilization limit, let me explain if it seems like technical jargon. So you would be expected to not spend more than 30% of your credit card limit, which is what I also did. That helped me. When I used to have $1,000 as my credit card limit, I would spend maybe up to $400 or $500, and this is me pushing my credit utilization because I didn't have that much space. So when I was able to increase my credit to $10,000, which means now I have even more space to use. So you are expected, or you will be encouraged, to not utilize more than 30% of your credit card. That way you can maintain a low credit utilization, and this would significantly increase your score. So when I was able to get a new credit limit increase, my utilization availability increased. So I had up to $3,000 to spend, which would be 30% of $10,000 that I now have as my credit limit. So I made sure I never spent more than $3,000 on my credit card in that month without paying it off. So that way I also make sure to keep a healthy credit report. Prior to when I applied for a new credit card for my corporation, I used the system Equifax or TransUnion to do a credit check on myself. That was how I was able to see my actual credit score at that time before proceeding to apply for a new credit card. So as at that time, I saw that my credit report was missing my employment. It showed that I was unemployed, which was not true. I had to request to update my information due to inaccuracy. I reached out to Equifax. I sent them documents on my employment, provided them with pay stub and other requirements, and my employment was updated on my profile. This way, I don't think that significantly made any change on my credit score, but at least I now have my employment showing on my record. Just imagine you're calling a bank that you want to apply for a new credit card and your credit report is not showing any employment. Would they even consider giving you credit? I made sure my employment was updated on my credit report. After that was when I proceeded to applying for a new credit card. While reviewing my credit report, I also saw that the phone plan that I got 2 years ago or a year ago, I got a phone from my mobile provider, and that also showed as a revolving credit on my credit report. So I know for sure that I don't think I want to get a phone plan anymore. That will probably be the first and the last. So I know for sure. And once I paid off my phone plan, when I got a new phone afterwards, I paid it off. I didn't go for a phone plan. This is not to say you shouldn't go for a phone plan if you want, or if you can't afford to buy a phone outrightly. But if you can actually afford to buy a phone outrightly, I would definitely recommend that you pay for it outrightly. When my phone plan completed, I saw that my credit score actually improved. So that's another thing that I did. Even though I had increased my credit limit, I made sure to maintain a healthy spend on my credit card of not more than $3,000, which is 30% of my credit card limit. So when I wanted to make an expensive purchase of payment of about $7,000 sometimes in June, what I did was I paid with my credit card, even though I knew that my credit card could pay for it and I had the limit. But the next day after making that payment, I put the money back on that card, just so at the end of the credit card statement period, it's not being sent over to credit bureau as a spend on my credit card. So that way I'd only use my credit card as a means of payment and not necessarily seeking for credit. So if you make any big spend or significant purchase on your credit card, if you think it's more than the 30% utilization rate, make sure you pay it off instantly. Don't even wait till the payment day or the end of your credit card statement before paying it off. So that way, usually what the credit bureau does is, or what your bank does is, at the end of your credit card statement, which is usually 30 days interval, they send an information on your credit at that month or for that month to credit bureau, which is what will determine your credit score, part of what will contribute towards your credit score. So if as at the end of your credit card statement period, which is 30 days, you have a huge spend on your credit card that is more than 30% of your credit limit, that way the credit bureau would assess you based on the balance that you have, and if it's higher or if it's lesser, it would significantly impact your credit score. So if you make a big spend, just make sure you pay it off right away before the end of your credit card statement. Another way to help you maintain a healthy credit utilization is to put the funds on your credit card upfront. So if you have, say, $1,000, that happened to me as well at some point when I had $1,000 credit limit. I wanted to buy a TV for my television, and the TV was about $600. So what I did was, I already had a spend of about 200 and something on my card. So if I put that TV on my credit card again, that would mean I have almost $900 spent on my credit card, and I didn't want that for a credit card that is just $1,000. So what I did was I put a 600 on my credit card, because the company would not take debit card, they only insisted on credit card, and I think it was an online purchase. So what I did was I just used my credit card to pay, but I put the funds on my credit card first. So that way my credit was now showing 600 more than my actual credit limit of 1,000, which is now 1,600. Then I paid with the card. then that way I go back to 1,000. So it doesn't actually seem like I made an expense on my card, but I just have excess funds on the card, if you were able to make sense out of that. So that was what I did. So if you want to make any significant purchase, or maybe you want to maintain your score and you think that spend would be a big purchase for you, just make sure to add the funds upfront on your credit card, and that way you can use your credit card as a means of payment. Another thing I did, which was more so mental than an actual thing to do, is me seeing my credit card as a means of payment rather than free money or rather than a loan. So if you have a credit card, I would encourage you to use your credit card, but also always remind yourself that credit card is not free money. It's not really a loan, it's just a means of payment. So whenever I spend on my credit card, mentally I tell myself, okay, I no longer have these funds. Even though I can still see it in my checking account, I don't see it as available in my head for spend anymore. So if I have, say, $2,000 in my bank and I spend $1,000 on my credit card, my bank would still show me $2,000. But in my head, I know $1,000 have actually gone into other things that I spent on my credit card. So mentally, I just tell myself I'm just left with $1,000 that I can spend. That way, I'm able to mentally keep track of my spending, and I don't overspend what I would not be able to pay on my credit card. Another thing I did that helped me improve my credit score significantly was that I always pay my credit card in full. Like, at the end of the credit card period, you would have a 21-day period to make payment of your credit card balance. Every month, I always make sure to pay the full amount. I don't pay the minimum balance, I pay the full amount at the end of that statement, and that's it. That's what I do always. Another thing I also do is, other than paying the credit card full balance, I also always pay on time before the due date. So what I did was I automated it from my bank to automatically pay off my credit card on or before the due date. So if you're able to pay it off on or before the due date, this counts as a healthy payment history for you, and this will significantly increase your credit score. So I also did that, and it significantly helped me. Another thing that I did, which is very, very important, I think a lot of people probably don't know this, I never took out cash advance from my credit card. Cash advance is you using your credit card to withdraw funds from the ATM or withdraw from your bank. This way it affects your credit score. So never ever use your credit card for cash advance, except you have to, or you don't have any other funds with you, or any other alternative, then you should, or you can. But for me, I made sure to never do that. If I wanted to withdraw cash, I always use my debit card. I never use my credit card for withdrawing cash advance. That way it showed in my credit history that for the last 6 months I have never taken out cash advance, and this also helped me improve my credit score. And as a result of maintaining a healthy credit behavior, my bank offered me a credit limit increase within this period of 6 months. I was also able to not only increase my credit score, I also increased my credit limit from 2,500 to 15,000. So a month ago, my bank reached out to me to offer me a credit limit increase from $10,000 to $15,000, and of course I accepted the credit limit, because this means I would have a higher room or a larger room for my credit utilization. So if I'm to spend 30% of 15,000 now, that would be about 6,000 or 5,000, which I think is very reasonable and very okay for me to make big purchases now. So maintaining a healthy credit score and credit rating would not only be good for future lenders, but also your current lender or your financial institution. If you reach out to them to request for new credit or increase in your credit limits based on your credit rating, they can significantly offer you better deals, better rates, and even higher limits. So definitely consider all of these tips that I've mentioned in this video. You can definitely do it too. Leave in the comment section if you enjoyed watching this video. Also share tips that you think has helped you significantly improve your credit score. I also have another video which I'll pin up here on how to improve and grow your credit score. This will be a general video for everyone. You can go check it out. I'll also link it in the description box. If you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're yet to subscribe, please subscribe right away and turn the post notification bell on as well. I'll see you guys in my next video. In the meantime, stay confident. Bye guys.